You do look to be in great shape. How is the training camp going? Because we see the 30-second clips with Rafael Cordero and your whole team, but could you give us a little more insight into how things are going?
I'm doing great, but my body's shit right now. I'm so, yeah, I'm really so.
Sure, he's 100, but gee, he looks good.
Yeah, man, he's looking really, really good. I'm definitely a little bit crazy. I'm definitely a little bit scared.
Mike Tyson seems to be in the midst of a heartbreaking meltdown just 2 months after his epic showdown with Jake Paul. It's truly sad to witness the once unstoppable force of the boxing ring struggling to find his place. Recent footage has surfaced, showing a shocking transformation. Tyson has put on noticeable weight, and unfortunately, it's not muscle. Fans are left wondering what's going on with the legendary champ as he grapples with life after the fight. Mike Tyson seems to be in the midst of a heartbreaking meltdown just 2 months after his epic showdown with Jake Paul. It's truly sad to witness the once unstoppable force of the boxing ring struggling to find his place. Recent footage has surfaced, showing a shocking transformation. Tyson has put on noticeable weight, and unfortunately, it's not muscle. Fans are left wondering what's going on with the legendary champ as he grapples with life after the fight. Mike Tyson, just the mention of his name once struck fear into the hearts of anyone who dared step into the ring. He wasn't just a fighter, he was an unstoppable whirlwind, demolishing opponents in mere seconds. But fast forward to November 15, 2024, and that same name now carries a different weight: struggle. Tyson's much anticipated bout with Jake Paul wasn't just a battle of fists, it was a clash of eras, a collision of egos, and a harsh reminder that even the greatest legends eventually meet their downfall. This wasn't the Mike Tyson we remembered. No, this was a 58-year-old man who had already survived a near-death experience earlier in the year. The once unstoppable force who tore through opponents like they were nothing now faced a YouTuber-turned-boxer nearly half his age. Let's be honest, this fight felt more like a tragic spectacle than a true contest. Tyson struggled to find his rhythm, while Jake Paul danced around him with the energy and speed of youth. This wasn't the Tyson who dismantled opponents with devastating knockouts. This was Mike Tyson, the icon, but now broken, worn out, and barely holding on. This wasn't the Mike Tyson we remembered. No, this was a 58-year-old man who had already survived a near-death experience earlier in the year. The once unstoppable force who tore through opponents like they were nothing now faced a YouTuber-turned-boxer nearly half his age. Let's be honest, this fight felt more like a tragic spectacle than a true contest. Tyson struggled to find his rhythm, while Jake Paul danced around him with the energy and speed of youth. This wasn't the Tyson who dismantled opponents with devastating knockouts. This was Mike Tyson, the icon, but now broken, worn out, and barely holding on. Mike Tyson, just the name alone once sent chills down the spines of opponents and fans alike. He wasn't just a fighter, he was a force of nature, an unstoppable whirlwind who crushed opponents in seconds. But fast forward to November 15, 2024, and that same name now evokes something entirely different: struggle. Tyson's much hyped fight against Jake Paul wasn't just a showdown of fists. It was a clash of eras, a collision of egos, and a brutal reminder that even the mightiest legends must eventually face their downfall. This wasn't the Tyson we remembered. No, this was a 58-year-old man who had already survived a near-death experience earlier in the year. The once unstoppable force, who used to tear through opponents like paper, now stood across the ring from a YouTuber-turned-boxer nearly half his age. From the start, the fight felt less like a competitive contest and more like a sad spectacle. Tyson struggled to find his rhythm while Jake Paul danced around him with the speed and agility of a man in his prime. The devastating power and precision that had once defined Tyson were gone, replaced by labored breaths and sluggish movements. This wasn't the Tyson who dismantled opponents with vicious knockouts, this was Tyson, the icon, broken, worn out, and barely hanging on. The fight's aftermath has left Tyson in a state of emotional and physical turmoil. Let's be honest, asking a 58-year-old man to step into the ring takes a toll far beyond the physical. 2 weeks after the fight, Tyson opened up about the emotional fallout, admitting, "The fight was such a big ascent, we were so up and high." His words in another interview struck an even deeper chord, revealing the struggles of a man who spent his life chasing greatness, now grappling with the harsh reality that the world has moved on. It was, by its nature, a horrible fight right from the start. "It was just awful," Tyson confessed. Tyson's comeback against Jake Paul wasn't just a fight, it's been a roller coaster of emotions and controversy ever since. In a Raw December 9 interview, Tyson admitted, "I'm depressed a little bit after the fight." For a man who once ruled the world of boxing, this wasn't just about losing, it was about questioning everything: his place, his purpose, and his legacy. The fallout hit harder than any punch. Jake Paul and Mike Tyson were both suspended from boxing following the fight, adding another layer of humiliation for the former champion. What was meant to be a triumphant return for Tyson had turned into a harsh reality check. Jake Paul, a YouTuber turned boxer, walked away the clear winner, leaving Tyson's legacy on the line. The fight itself was a spectacle of hype and heartbreak. A staggering 108 million viewers tuned in on Netflix, breaking records and proving the massive business appeal of the event. The buzz was electric: Tyson, the warrior of old, versus Jake Paul, the new age disruptor. But from the opening bell, it was clear this wasn't going to be a fairytale comeback. Tyson started strong, throwing punches that carried echoes of his past dominance. By the second round, however, the cracks began to show. His firepower wasn't there, his stamina was gone, and Jake Paul exploited every weakness. Round after round, Paul stayed in control, using his youth and speed to his advantage. Tyson's punches, once his most deadly weapons, lacked their signature power. By the fourth round, the crowd wasn't witnessing a battle, they were witnessing a sobering reminder that Father Time is undefeated. The judges' scorecards reflected the harsh reality. Judge David Yabuki scored the fight 80-72, while judges Lawrence Cole and Jesse Ray scored it 79-73. The unanimous decision in Paul's favor was a clean sweep with no controversy. But the loss didn't just show up on the scorecards, it was evident in every labored breath Tyson took, every sluggish step, and every punch that failed to land with its once devastating impact. Rumors of a scripted fight began swirling almost immediately after the bout. Critics pointed to the over-the-top drama and lackluster boxing as evidence. Despite the whispers, Paul expressed nothing but admiration for Tyson. "This man is an icon, and it's just an honor to fight him," Paul said. For Jake Paul, the fight was a career highlight. For Tyson, it was a bitter pill to swallow. Asked if he felt he'd proved his critics wrong by going 8 rounds with a younger man, Tyson responded, "I didn't prove anything to anybody, only to myself." Tyson later admitted to blanking out during parts of the fight. "The last thing I remember is Jake bowing in the ring," he revealed. Let that sink in. The man who once ruled boxing barely remembers the end of his own fight. This wasn't just a physical defeat, it was a mental and emotional blow. To understand the weight of Tyson's downfall, one must revisit his storied history. Iron Mike isn't just a nickname, it's a legacy carved into the very fabric of boxing history. With his raw power and unmatched aggression, Tyson became an unstoppable force in the ring, setting records that still stand today. At just 20 years old, he became the youngest heavyweight champion in history by defeating Trevor Berbick in 1986. It was the start of a reign marked by brutal, explosive knockouts. Tyson's first-round demolitions, 24 in total, became his terrifying trademark. His ability to finish a fight before the bell even rang made him the nightmare of every heavyweight contender. And when he became the first fighter to hold the WBC, WBA, and IBF titles simultaneously, Tyson didn't just win, he dominated. Fast forward to 2024, and Tyson's return to the ring has split the boxing world right down the middle. On one side are the fans who applauded Tyson just for showing up. For them, it wasn't about what he had left at 58, it was about the courage to step into the ring once more. On the other side are the critics who saw the fight as a spectacle and a cash grab disguised as sport. They called it a stain on Tyson's legacy. Harsh, perhaps, but not unwarranted. After all, it's not every day you see a man who once sent legends packing square off against someone whose fame started with pranks and viral videos. Jake Paul's victory reignited debates about the state of boxing. Some saw the fight as a symbol of everything wrong with modern boxing: flashy, loud, and more about spectacle than skill. Love him or hate him, Paul knows how to stir the pot. His celebrity boxing stock skyrocketed after defeating Tyson, but let us not pretend this didn't also expose some hard truths about the sport. Where are the next Mike Tysons or Muhammad Alis? Instead of nurturing new talent, boxing has become a stage for Instagram stars and viral sensations. Tyson's loss wasn't just a personal moment of failure, it was a flashing neon sign that boxing, as a sport, is in trouble. The ethics of Tyson's return have also come under scrutiny. Should a 58-year-old, even one as legendary as Tyson, be stepping into the ring for a professional bout? Critics argue it's dangerous, and Tyson's performance only bolstered their case. This wasn't just a loss, it was a reminder that even the fiercest warriors can't outrun time. Yet, despite the defeat, Tyson is already eyeing another fight. Reports suggest he's considering a bout with Logan Paul, Jake's brother. Yes, you heard that right, Logan Paul. For a man who once ruled the ring like it was his jungle gym, this feels like a desperate attempt to cling to relevance. The question is, how much of his legacy is Tyson willing to risk? He's a man who's been through hell and back, yet instead of riding off into the sunset, he's back at square one, trying to prove something to himself, to the world. The problem is that every time Tyson steps into the ring, he's adding a new chapter to a story that doesn't need more pages. His name is already legendary. Does he really need another fight to solidify his greatness? Tyson's comeback also forces us to confront the broader issues plaguing boxing. Celebrity boxing is here to stay, but at what cost? Sure, the money is great. But it's also eroding the spirit of the sport. Instead of fostering the next generation of boxing legends, we're watching a parade of social media stars and novelty fights. Tyson's loss to Jake Paul wasn't just a personal setback, it was a sign of a sport losing its way.